All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode with my great friends Jorge Martinez from the Exchange FC, Steve Pontecorvo, TNV Clothing. Our New Rebels finally get another win away. 2-0 against Montreal in Canada. Oh, Canada, thank you for those 3 points.
Finally, they needed that. A couple things we pointed out. I said it off camera. Sandro, shout out to you. You're listening to us. You're obviously listening to the show. You're doing kind of what we say, except for Wiki, but you'll come to your senses maybe by the Derby. Shout out on the 3 points. Now you got to continue going.
Yeah, what up? It's a miracle. We finally went away. I can't believe it. 2-0. Got the clean sheet as well for Carlos. Great game overall. I mean, we needed it. We absolutely needed it. So, I mean, they couldn't come away with it without 3 points in Montreal. One win coming into that, so we finally get our second win away. We're gonna have to get another away win too if we want any hopes of making playoffs with the way Chicago is playing at the moment.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things that I wanted to mention is the impact that Choupo-Moting has had on the team this year. Another goal, 16 goals overall in the 2025 season. Emil Forsberg gets another assist, now has 10 goals and 10 assists in the season. And Tim Parker, I think it's his first goal with the Red Bulls in 2025. Starting in the game, and another point that I wanted to bring out was Marcelo Morales is starting in his first MLS match after making his debut against Portland last week. Man,
Finally.
finally. That's what I'm saying. You're right, Jorge. I think there's some clips that are being sent out to Sandra. He's probably like, you know what? These guys kind of do make sense a little bit. They might look crazy, but they are on point with certain things. So I wanted to ask you guys just what are some of the things that you would like to highlight from this game? Huge win after what? It's been forever since we won away. I think 7 games since our last win away. So what stood out for you guys?
I think that the beginning of the season there were spurts of the game where they were going down or they really weren't coming out gunning, and in the second half you saw the team that you needed. If I'm not mistaken, they got both of those goals like in the first half hour, right? So in my head, I'm like, dude, they started gunning like this. The only thing that's left to happen is them to either lose 3-2 or get 2-2. But they held their own after that. And you would think that like the way that they've played, especially like on the road, after they scored fast too, I'm like, dude, it's a little too early for that. But they held their own. So it says a lot. I mean, granted, it is Montreal, but still, a lot of the season they did that where second half was the half that they came back and they played good and they either tied or they won. Um, so it's good to see them finally get it started from the beginning.
Yeah, 100%. It was good to see a new lineup come in here with Bregren starting, Morales starting, Julian Hall starting, Ronald Donkor starting. So seeing some new faces in the lineup was good to see. And like that's what we were calling for, right? It's like shout out Sandro. Definitely not Sandro, but an assistant maybe. Somebody working within Red Bull, showing them the tapes, right? Whoever you are, thank you. All right. So it was
Erica,
good.
maybe? Maybe
Yeah.
Erica?
Hey, you never know, right? Like, here, just watch this 2 minute clip real quick, Sandro. Um, these guys got something to say, but for real, it was good to see those guys perform. Good to see some new faces. Not everyone's gonna work out. I mean, Julian Hall was okay. Got under pressure a little bit, gave away the ball, but overall, it was really good to see the Red Bull kind of come out gunning, like you said, and really take over from the start. Score that early goal with Tim Parker. Header at the back post, shot out Kyle Duncan, who is another guy I think should start. Those are the two wingbacks. I know Kyle can struggle sometimes defensively, but he does offer a lot going forward too. So I think Kyle on the one side and Morales, you can't go wrong. And then if you want to bring in Raheem, and we kind of seen Valencia just kind of fall off. So it's been good to see that new lineup change, and obviously it worked out for the best. Two early goals.
Yeah, one of the things that I pointed to you guys was the fact that hey, this lineup has probably been the best lineup we've seen in a good time. And going back with that four-man back line, Marcelo Morales, man, I think Biscochito was really somebody that stood out for me in that game. He looked so confident in his first start, making those runs a la John Tolkien, like being fearless, running down the wing, making cutting in, cutting outside, taking shots, taking more shots than Wiki Carmona in a game. It's crazy as a defender, but I think I do like that personality, and that's what we've been asking. We've been asking this team to be aggressive, to be conservative when they have to be conservative, but be mindful that you have to go after these goals. And I think we hit them right in the mouth when we score on a set piece. And what a goal from Chupo, man! I think for me, it's probably one of the best goals I've seen from him this year. I don't know, but the
If
way he
if Messi isn't in this league, we're talking Chupo MVP
oof oof. But
He
we have to
still
make the
doesn't get
playoffs.
any love here. Like I feel like,
because the team's trash.
and that's what's crazy. Like if you told me he was going to score 16 goals this season, I'd be like, all right, we're going to be in the playoff picture for sure. But we're actually on the outside looking in, which is
Because you
insane.
know what's wild? That like for this entire time we've been saying we need a guy that could do that. You got a guy that could do that, but there's another part that isn't sorted out. And it's somewhere in that middle or it's somewhere in that back. So like that's the issue. Like everybody's like, we're waiting for this one to come back. We're waiting for the score. We're gonna get a score. You got him. You got the guys. Chupo has been worth every penny. Forsberg has been worth every
And
penny.
we only
Both of
get
them.
Chupo for another year, I think. That's it.
Yeah,
So they
Wilson.
better fucking sign someone to compliment him.
You have to.
Yeah.
How
But
long is Emil Forsberg for here?
I think he has another year. He has one more year after this too, and then he has an option. And
Oh,
that's it.
oh
Yeah,
shit. So they
So
yeah,
got to do it
next
soon.
year's a massive year for this club, all the way around. It's also 30 years too for the club.
Oh
30 year
wow.
30-year anniversary. I hope they do something. They
Wow.
should. It's the inception of the club, 1996, and now it's 2026. I mean, you got a World Cup. The final's going to be here. I mean, Red Bull have, I mean, a lot of soccer fans' eyes on this area, and they could really make something of it, but they never do.
yeah. We're gonna get another parade for the Eastern Conference Trophy. I don't know what we're gonna do, but honestly, I think that what you mentioned is spot on. I do like the fact that, like I said, somebody like Marcelo Morales complemented other players on that wing, and I think we look fast, man. We look like we're ready to find the back of the net with some deep runs. And I think what's lacking is that what I saw, obviously, Wiki Carmona on that side, he does a lot, and you were kind of being nice to him earlier today, Steve. And you're right, like he does the work where he pushes up the tempo when it comes to counterattacks. He puts pressure on the ball, but when he's in the box, he doesn't know what to do with it. There was a play where in the first half where he could just lay a pass to Julian Hall, he would have been alone against the net. And he didn't do that. He hesitates. He doesn't have that vision. And I think that's what we're lacking. Otherwise, we will be a very, very dangerous team if we have a very decent player. Even with Cam Harper, I think we would have been really good and not fighting for a playoff spot right now. But we did get a huge win. I think I'd also like to see Doncor play the full 90 minutes. I think he's gaining some confidence. Even in the game against Portland, he looked like he was contributing a lot to the team with his passes. Um, any thoughts on Berggren's game, the new signing against Montreal? Did,
Yeah,
did
I
you?
thought he was good. I mean, he's finally getting in the swing of things. He was eventually subbed for Daniel Edelman. I mean, he's kind of taken Daniel's spot, I feel like, right there.
He's
So
fell off.
yeah, a little bit. So that's why it's good to have Bregman come in. I mean, he was kind of a facilitator, like, pivot, defensive midfielder, where I feel like Doncor is more of the disruptor. Um, and I don't know, Bregman can put in some good tackles as well. So I think he'll eventually get more in the swing of things. And him and Forsberg are going to have a connection. I mean, you got three Swedish guys on the field. And they're all ballers, really. Noah, Gustav, and Emil.
IKEA
Um,
FC. Let's go.
Nah, it's the Swedish House Mafia.
The
Swedish
Swedish
House
House
Mafia. I
Mafia.
like
All
that one
right, I
better.
gave him the idea. So if they want to dress up for Halloween, Shout out your boy. I just gave you guys a good idea. Um,
Oh
but no, it
man.
was good to see, just like we said, new faces getting replaced, like Hall coming in for Sofo, who always starts, and then Sofo was able to sub in. It's just, I think we would be seeing Cam Harper 100% if he wasn't hurt instead of Wiki Carmona. Because the other option, I'm looking at the lineup, uh, Jumpy, would be like Serge Goma, who he can't really trust either. So,
Dude, there was a couple games where Serge came in, and I remember thinking, like, oh my God, this kid's on. And I think we
Yep.
spoke about it a few times where I
Yep.
was like, oh, but like the past couple games when he's come on, I'm like, oh, what are we doing here, bro?
Serge and Wiki both have been struggling in front of net.
I think with Serge, I think that he can't go 1,000% because he's been hurt so much that like
Yes.
there's something that doesn't let him go 1,000 miles per hour.
Yeah. When it comes to
Interesting.
Wiki, it's more like quality. When it comes to Search, we know that he can provide quality, but he's just so injury prone. Every little thing. It's just, we don't know whether he's gonna make the starting 11 or not because of that. Um,
Yeah.
so it's a problem. But the people that needed to come through has come through. Emil Forsberg, Choupo-Moting, Carlos Coronel. Did you guys see the saves that he had on the first and second half?
You know what I'm gonna say?
Well, that's why I said it was a clean sheet. Carlos. I mean, he had to make up for last game. That was a big. Everyone had to answer the bell that game. So that was big for Carlos. I mean, yeah, I'm
Shout
sorry.
out to Carlos Coronel always.
Always starting
Give him the
five.
bag one more year. Because think about it. Now that you guys mentioned what's left on like ML and Chupo and what you have now, and you get next year these guys back, you know, bro, give it one more shot with the band that was there.
Mhm.
Was a very important part of that puzzle. You know what I'm saying? So like, at least give him that. Don't fucking go do him dirty and think you're gonna go to the final with AJ and whoever's the goalie on fucking two, because that's not gonna happen.
Well, that's one of the things that came out last week was interesting that McCarty was signed for another year or has an option for another year, if I'm not mistaken. So, push comes to shove, if they don't sign Carlos to an extension, you can really see. I think there's a possibility they can put McCarty on goal as the number one. I
Interesting.
I think I think that's something that was brought up by Rebane from Seeing Red. Well, I think he does Air Sports Network too, but he put it out there, and I was like, oh, Jokin might be playing mind games against with the fans or with Carlos. But I wouldn't want McCarty to be number one. With all due respect, I know that he won the championship last year, but Carlos Coronel can obviously make those saves
Carlos
and he can
has
be
to be the
consistent.
guy.
Yeah, if he can be that consistent, yeah, man, give him the money that he deserves. I know that he has some blunders sometimes from time to time, but our team is also like inconsistent. But for the most part, out of the inconsistent people, he's the one that's been actually performing game in, game out.
Yeah.
I think that if he starts that game in Philly, they win the U.S. Open Cup. I mean, they're in.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. We've said that on the past episodes, and I continue to agree with you. I think that was a mistake from Sandro not
Shout
to
out
put
to
him there.
Carlos, baby.
Shout out to Carlos,
My man.
the king, the Paraguayan brick wall. And then
La
also
pared.
no Isla
Harrison
chipping in
Buffon.
too. Harrison Buffon, Harrison.
Harrison Buffon.
Oh man,
Carlito.
Carlitos the goat, man. Just give him the money, man. Carlitos or Matt Freeze, real quick.
What day of the week?
Next Sunday, next
Oh
Saturday.
shit. Dude, can I tell you? I said to somebody, the way that both of these teams are playing, I wouldn't be surprised if that thing ended in a 1-1 or a 0-0. Both goalies are just like fantastic. Matt is just it's what dude, him stopping Zaha just emphasized it for me. Like, dude, you do not stop. Dude, Matt Freeze is a gift. Dude, NYC has a lot of guys on their team who are absolute gifts to their team that you can rely on them. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild, man. I mean, listen, Red will have a few guys that you can rely on. Carlitos, you can rely on him. Chupo, you can rely on. Even when they lost, he scored.
Yeah.
These guys, they exactly. These guys, they do it. And they have a group of guys that they do it. Dude, they beat Columbus on a last second. Dude, wild, wild. The scenes were crazy, bro, on a Wednesday. I'm excited for this, bro, this
Yeah.
week. We got Miami comes in to play them, and then you have the Derby. I mean, it's a good week in this area for soccer, but the Derby's the one, man.
I gotta say, this is one of the most exciting weeks for Jorge and the exchange. So I can see it's like whatever happens, I win. But I don't know the draw, and nobody wins. I think I wouldn't be happy. I think that's it. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
what were you gonna say before, Christian, about
No, no,
Montreal?
yeah, yeah. Montreal. I just think that this is a game that we needed to win against one of the worst teams in the league. Um, Although it may sound easy to do, we still struggle away. So I think it was still a good result, and I think the way that we played was much better than we showed. Um, I just think that did you see anything that you didn't like in this game that should have changed, or you should have Sandro should have modified?
Well, I mean, it's nothing Sandro really can do. I just feel like the team is still kind of, like we said, a little weak. I mean, we give up too many chances in the back. It's a little bit too easy. So that's why I'm afraid coming into this next game because Carlos did kind of come up big, and
Yes.
Carlos wouldn't have to come up big if those chances, weren't there. So. I mean, Tim Parker did great. Noah Isla is a great too. So I'm expecting that center back pairing again with Sean Nealis being that third guy being rotated in for either one of them. And shout out Tim Parker, man. First goal this season. And if not many people watch the post game press conference with Sandro, I mean, the video's only got like 50 views, but he did mention about Tim Parker speaking up in the locker room speaking about like the organization and what they need and how much this means and kind of just emphasize to get the guys going a little bit. So it's Tim Parker's taking a big leadership role,
I love
which
it.
is big, and I feel like he's the perfect guy too because he was here 5, 6 years ago when we had really talented teams fighting at the top of the table, making playoffs, going deep in the playoffs. So he understands, the expectations and the standards for this club. So it's good for him to speak up because someone like our coach still is like, oh, I only been here a year or so. Well, this guy's been around. So he understands what it means. He's local and he stepped up and scored a massive goal for us too. So other than that, I mean, that we give up some chances, we're just gonna have to hope Carlos holds it down, man, and we can at least all defend as a team and work together against the ball. That's what I gotta hope for, and hopefully Sandro can be ready for that because NYC is gonna have the ball a lot. I mean, I don't know what tactics Pascal might have to throw at us. They might give us the ball again because they tried that against us because we sometimes like sitting in that counter press because that helps us get to the Red Bull game that we want to play. But
Yeah.
they might give us the ball, so we'll see how we do.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about it just now. But before I mentioned just quickly, this is Tim Parker's only year with the team. He only signed a 1 year contract. So just quickly, I want to ask you guys, the last performances that he had, does he deserve another year?
100%. I didn't know that. I didn't
1 year
know that.
contract. Yep, only one
Dude,
year.
I interviewed him at the beginning of the season. And I asked him, like, if this was it, would you be happy that this was it? Like this is where it ended? And he made it seem to me like he had a lot more in the tank. And I'm for it because he shows that he's been, but he's also had some times where it's like, dog.
He's just a little bit slower than some of these
Yeah.
forwards. That's the only problem, and that's just what the game is changing a little bit.
Yeah. Him and Neelis with fucking shit in their pants.
Well, I think Tim is because his muscle, man. I mean, he's
He's
literally
big.
he's ripped. He's ripped, man.
He's jacked.
And then Sean, I don't know, man. Maybe too many pancakes, but Tim is a tank. Tim in the
Yeah.
tank for sure. Steve, you didn't said would you keep Tim for another year?
I mean, I mean, if it's possible, I would do maybe another, give him another year contract.
6 months.
Right? No, another year. I would give him another year. Let's see how old he is.
31, I think. No.
No, he's 32.
Okay,
So yeah,
32.
I'd say if he wants to retire here, then 2 years. But yeah, I would give him a year for sure.
Oh shit. Okay, we're feeling generous. I don't know if Joking feels the same
He
way,
might
but
want, yeah, because he might want to retire here. Like I said, he had a previous stint with the club, and it was a pretty successful period. Pretty sure he was on that 2018 team, 2019, 2018.
2018, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man, we came in first that year. We were dominant the whole year. So I
Yeah, I
mean, he
remember
understands,
when he
Red
left the
Bull way.
team, a lot of fans were hurt. When he left the team back then, a lot of fans were hurt. And I think that if we sign him as a backup, no, I'm not thinking like starting 11 every single game, but as a backup, I think he's earned it. And I think he has the confidence of the coaching staff, and yeah, he showed it. He probably deserves another year. Um, okay, so now we're ready to move on to the next important topic, and that is obviously the New York Derby, the Hudson River
Wait,
Derby.
one last thing. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No, no, I was getting ready to. I was
He's
fired
getting
up. What happened?
ready to unleash.
Minnesota, Minnesota. What the fuck?
Oh,
Minnesota,
oh, I was trying to
Minnesota.
forget about that.
Yo,
Jorge,
Minnesota. How? What the fuck?
drop the ball, man.
Oh, they dropped two balls. I,
They dropped
I,
two balls in their mouth.
dude, terrible, bro. Terrible. Chicago, yo, that's it. I just wanted to touch on that for a second.
I
As
know Chicago gets the win with Red Bulls getting the win. So essentially, we're heading into this Derby week with like how we stood last week.
dude,
Second team in the West, second best team in the West
yeah,
at home, and you
at
get
home.
three. You get three from Chicago.
They played
Yeah.
good. I saw the highlights too. Their goals were not like cheapies.
Okay,
I
so
can't believe that.
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
And they
you
have
know,
Gutman. Remember Andrew Gutman
oh
that
man,
one year?
I liked
He,
him. I liked him.
me too. He got in a really nice assist on one of the Chicago goals. I was like, damn, okay, they got Gutman over there.
Yeah, and he bounced around. He was like in Cincinnati, then he was in Atlanta. He was also in the Rapids, Colorado Rapids, and then now I guess he's doing his thing in Chicago. But dude, what the fuck, man? Out of all the results, that's one that I did not expect. And now we have to light up the candles again and hope that Columbus does a good job against them. MLS is so unpredictable, man. But now we can get into what everybody wanted to talk about today. Steve, I see you're smiling. I see you, Jorge, licking your lips, talking about chop cheese. New York against New York or New Jersey, whatever you want to call it, the biggest game of the season. Sandro's job on the line on Saturday. And the mascot too. With a win, Rhett goes out of the way too. Everybody's gonna be paying attention to this game because guess what? I think that this can make or break a lot of people, man. I think this is gonna be the time where they're gonna see who's the person, who are the players that you can count on for next year in the big games like this one. And then Sandro has to prepare himself uh really really well against a tough opponent. I'm as much as I hate them, I think I can give them credit for what they've done with Pascal Jansen. He really just came in to
Pop
freaking
smoke,
work.
baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, I thought he was gonna be another fraudiola, another bold fraud, but nah, he came through. He's a different Nick Cushing. He's
Dude, can I tell you something? I
yeah.
told somebody that I thought they were setting him up for failure. Like they were using him as like a dummy to suck this year. But no, like, dude, they're fucking good, man. Dude, I didn't know that Charlotte was unbeaten 9 in a row until this week.
Yeah, yeah. They took their streak away. And they're a tough team to play.
Charlotte
I
was
think
due to. I'm not trying to. The NYCFC has been playing great. Charlotte was due to lose, and Charlotte is ass cheeks on the road. That's a little side note because I kind of follow that team too. But great run by Charlotte. It was not taking any credit away from NYCFC. That streak was way due to end.
yeah, yeah, but then it goes all it goes back to the mindset that Jumpy talked about last on the last episode with Jansen making sure that hey everybody we're locked in, man, we're fighting until the last minute to get the 3 points, and I think that they did that. So they're a scary team. Obviously I hate the blue team, but I give them their credits. I respect what they've done so far this year. Um, but I think it's just a matter of, just this game, you don't look at the things in the past. You don't look at what happened in the derby. Literally, derbies are played a different way, man. I don't know if you feel the same way, Steve, but
Yeah.
this is a time where we see the studs, come up a little bit higher when they see a little bit more of an elbow. You see Sean Nealis, looking like Forrest Gump running around the field trying to fight somebody. This is a time where everybody just, the level just goes up a little bit. I don't know what you guys think, but how are you guys feeling for this derby?
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. Fucking, I don't even know where to begin. I was gonna say jumpy. Sometimes it's all over the place because last derby we lost 2-0. We kind of came out a little flat, and then I was wrong about last year. We did play them this time last year, and we got touched up. Our worst home loss,
Dude,
5-1.
I'll tell
So,
you a funny
and we
story.
kind of shot ourselves in a way. Like we know it's a big game, so I hope the players don't come out with like shaking in their knees, because that's sometimes what happens. We talk and we hype it up, and I'm sure they do too. But then sometimes it does the reverse. So
So last year, it was a Wednesday night. Philadelphia went to the Bronx and smacked the shit out of NYCFC. I think it was like 5-0, something ridiculous, right?
Yep.
The next day they were playing Miami. They came back in like the 93rd minute and Keaton Parks got a header in or James Sands got a header in to tie it 1-1. The next week they went to fucking Red Bull and beat the shit out of the Red Bull. That was the second time that they beat the Red Bull. And then the third time when you guys faced each other was the important time. You can't beat a team three times, man. The issue is with this time around, if the Red Bull don't do what they have to do over the next few days, I mean, if this doesn't work out from here, this is the biggest game of the year. If nothing else works out, like you gotta win this one, especially the way that they ended the last one. Because the last one, they made the Red Bull look like losers. Remember? Carlos and these guys were like crashing into each
I
other.
know. Well, that's what I'm saying. The pressure almost like was too much, and really at that point too, we were like we didn't know where the season was going. This is like the season is on the line for the New York
Yeah.
Red Bulls, where NYCFC, me and Christian were talking about how they actually already clinched playoffs. So
Yeah.
maybe it won't be as intense. I know Pascal's got them playing on a different level right now, and they've been pulling out results and not a lot of people expected them to do that much this year. So credit to NYCFC. We'll see, what they do in playoffs. So I don't know if that helps us a little bit. Also, NYCFC playing midweek where Red Bull get time off, get the train. I do think that helps the red side. Also, that we're playing at home too always helps, regardless of last year's result. Hopefully, we can avoid those obvious mistakes like Carlos just passing it to a fucking City player within his own box, like mistakes like that. And we come out with that right, focused, channeled anger energy at net to score first and to be those guys on the front foot, just like how we were against Montreal. Because we need this win. And even unfortunately, even if we get this win, we don't even know if we're making playoffs, but you need to get this one. And Sandro, hopefully he knows his job is on the fucking line.
Yeah, Steve, you bring a good point because if I'm not mistaken, last year Sandro had a blunder. So not Sandro. Carlos had a blunder where he passed the ball in our game at home. He passed the ball to an NYCFC player. I don't know if it was Morales again, and then he did it in City Field this year. He did the same thing. So it's about the right mentality. So here I want you to put your coaching hats on. Jorge, I want you to go first. You're Sandro Shores. You're off the juice. You won. You beat Montreal 2-0. Here comes the biggest game of the season for you as a coach, for you, and for your team. What do you want to tell the players?
Guys, we've been in playoff mode. You should know that we've been in playoff mode for the past few weeks. And I haven't been able to tell you guys because you motherfuckers don't listen to me. So, with that being said, Emil, tell these guys. And then Emil's going to get into the circles. He'll be like, guys, we got to fight for each other. We got to do this for each other. Da da da. And then they're going to go out and make something happen. That's how I see that happening in the locker room. But, but, I also don't think at this stage, like you shouldn't need to be rallied up right now everybody, it should be like when you go in there, it should just be a shit show of everybody fired up to get out there and kill it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to like go into the locker room and see every fucking guy drooling to get out there and do it.
Yeah. I would
You know?
also let some of the local
For
guys
sure.
talk too, man. Like the Tim
Yeah,
Parkers.
perfect. That's
But
permanent marker. Tomorrow you're gonna go to work with that.
he's putting the fucking eyeshadow on. He's ready.
I'm
He's
gonna
ready
keep
to
this
fuck it
until
up.
Saturday, until the game.
It's gonna be a wild one, man. I'm sure the away end for NYCFC will be pretty packed too. It's gonna be a packed stadium regardless. I wish we had the Rebels had a little bit more momentum. There was a little bit more at stake, be higher in the table, but we'll
Yo,
take
don't
it.
stand next to Chris, bro. Don't stand next to Chris, Steve. They're gonna be
Well,
throwing fucking tomatoes at Chris.
I'm I'm curious too to see
You're gonna throw D
Tebow.
batteries at Chris.
Yeah, you better take cover. We better, bring some protection, maybe Captain American shield or something like
Oh,
that
shit.
that we have from 2018.
I'm gonna
Got to
bring
remind
condoms
these
because we're
guys.
gonna f them. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna beat them 5-0. They're gonna know who the real team is. I didn't put this for no reason. This is no permanent marker. It is permanent marker, but I probably have to be worried about how I'm gonna take this off. But we're gonna beat this team because this is what we do. Although we don't play well, although we're always questionable in the playoffs, the New York Rebels have always come up on top in the record in the playoffs last year. And I think no matter what happens, no matter what state they're in, Sandro knows how to play important games. And he showed it last year. He showed it in the League's Cup. He shows it not every single game, but when it matters, he does come with a game plan. And I think that the boys know how important this is for the fans. And I think that you're expecting a good match on Saturday for my end.
100%. Let them do whatever they want. They got to know this is our fucking pitch. This is our fucking house. As long as we do our job, they can do whatever the fuck they want. We're gonna do our fucking job and show them who's fucking boss. Strike what we can. I'm not expecting to blow them out. They're gonna be fighting for us. They want to beat us. They really fucking hate us over there, and I think hate drives a lot of people. First, you know what I mean? So we got to be feeling that same way against them. They want to beat us so bad for a multitude of reasons we don't even have to get into. Everyone should know. So as long as we fucking fight and go out there with a purpose, let Tim Parker speak, let Daniel Letterman speak about what this fucking means, you know, and get those goals, bro.
It's such a big game, dude. But on the other hand, if for some, like I said before, if for some reason this doesn't work out and you guys beat in the playoffs, you don't want to, you have that's the best shot you got.
Playoffs are who knows? I mean, we can get into it really fast. I mean, we got 3 games left. We have to win this one. I say we need really, if we want any chance to really have a good chance, we got to win all 3 games, which is NYCFC at home. Then we have Cincinnati at home, and then we got Columbus away. Okay.
That's the one.
But that's still a gauntlet no matter what, because NYCFC is playing good. Cincinnati's always a tough opponent, and Columbus. So I mean I think we can win. Let's just say hopefully we do. But you want to hear Chicago's fucking schedule? Chicago has to play Columbus Crew this week at home, which is let's hope for a draw. Then Chicago Fire have to go to Miami midweek. That's where they should lose. However, and this is where it sucks, Chicago gets Toronto at home, and
Mm.
then Chicago gets New England away. So even after
New
this,
England's a
Chicago,
tough place to play.
that's true. But still, their last 2 games are Toronto and New England, where our last 2 games are Cincinnati and Columbus. 2 playoff teams versus Chicago playing 2 non-playoff teams. So, regardless, if we win this Derby game, yes, it'll set us up, but we can still lose because if Chicago's playing the way they're playing against how they did against Minnesota, it could be a wrap for Red Bulls. They got to win out. Red Bulls got to win out.
How did we get to this point?
And if you look at the standings too, another
Joking.
observation, we Red Bulls would be 7th in the West. We would be in the playoffs. Last year, the Eastern Conference was not as tough. The conference this year is fucking tough. And the West sucks. The West is ass, dude. It's like Dallas is gonna make playoffs and they got 9 wins. They're like 9 and 15 losses, and they're in ninth in the West. So the East has just been kind of dominating against those Western Conference opponents.
Yeah, it's been really tough. The East has been really difficult to play against. I mean, you look at Orlando, Charlotte, New York City FC, Cincinnati, Philadelphia.
Yeah, and
We're gonna win the
Miami.
Supporters
Yeah,
Shield.
Yeah,
Philadelphia.
Philly, Miami. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Between those teams, and then you got us. It's a tough conference. Nashville's not no slouch either.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition that it's I think we matched the points. We said it last season. I mean, sorry, we said it on the last episode. We matched the points already. We already surpassed the points that we got last year, but it's still not enough. So, a lot to prove against NYCFC this Saturday. I just want to let you guys finish it off. We got like 1 minute. Your final thoughts. Close us off, my guys.
Um, let's go. I want all the home teams to win this week. So we
Ow.
need Miami to lose,
Okay.
right? Because nobody wants Miami to win. And then we just want a good derby. But most importantly, because I don't think we're gonna do something again before the derby, right? Everybody just remember that all 22 guys on the field have no idea who you are. So before you go throw a rock at somebody for being stupid, just remember that they don't even know who the fuck you are. And just go about your day.
Quick
Steve,
prediction
For which game?
for the Derby.
2-0.
Oof. 2-2.
2-2 draw. That wouldn't really be great for Red Bull. Would keep us in it. But I'm saying big Derby win, 1-0.
Oof.
Close one. Tight.
Let's fucking go. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Go Red Bulls. Have a
Chris
good
will
one.
still have that marker on his face.
New
I
York
can't
is
take it
red,
off.
baby. New York is red. Do not forget it. Since 96 until forever.